Yashodanandanam Brajajanaranjanam Yashodanandanam Brajajanaranjanam Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Kunja Bihari Jai Om Vishnu Pada Paramahansa Prajakacharya Stuttar Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Abhai Charavinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON and BBT Founder Acharya Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada Ki Srila Prabhupada Ji Ki Mahagrantha Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Go Premanande. All glories to assembly devotees. All glories to assembly devotees. All glories to assembly devotees. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Deving Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet Asta Praisha Badrishu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utamashloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki Shringvatam Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Ridantaistohya Bhadrani Vidunod Sritsatam Krishna Swadhamupagate Dharma Ganavi Saha Kalona Sadishamesha Puranar Kwanadotitaha Mahagrantha Srimad Bhagavatam Ki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 14, verse number 1. The title of the chapter is The Material World as the Great Forest of Enjoyment. So this is the verse. is a book, is an article, and I don't mind the meter use it on this. So my suggestion is that let's go to word by word. Let's go repeat together. Saha, the self-realized devotee Sri Shukadeva Goswami. Ha, indeed. Uvacha, spoke. Saha, he, the conditioned soul. Eshaha, this one. Deha Atmamaninam, of those who foolish take the body of to their best self. Sattva Adi, of Sattva Raja and Tamaha. Guna, by modes. Vishesha, particular. Vikalpita, falsely constituted. Kushala, sometimes by favorable actions. Akushala, sometimes by very unfavorable actions. Samavahara, by a mixture of both. Vinimita, obtaining. Vividha, various types. Deha avali bihi, by the series of bodies. Vyoga, Samyoga, Adi, symptomized by give up of the type of the body. Vyoga and accepting another, Samyoga. Anadi Sansara Nubhavasya, of the perception of the beginningless process of transmigration. Dvara Bhutena, existing as the doorways. Sat Indriya Vargena, by the six senses, the mind and five knowledge acquired senses, namely the eyes, ears, tongue, nose, and skin. Tasmin, on that, Durga Advat, like a path that is very difficult to traverse. Asugame, being difficult to pass through. Advani, on a path in the forest. Apatitaha, happened. Ishwarasya, of the controller. Bhagavataha, the Supreme Person of Godhead. Vishnu, of Lord Vishnu. Vaishavartinya, acting under the control. Mayaya, by the material energy. Jivalokaha, conditioned living entity. I am this. Yatha, exactly like. Varniki, a merchant. Okay, thank you. Sa'artaha, having an object. Artaparaha, who is very attached to money. Artaparaha. Okay. Swadeha Inshpadita, Nishpadita, performed by his own body. Karma, the fruits of activities. Anubhavaha, who experiences. Shanshanavati Ashivatamayang, like an inauspicious cemetery or place of burial. Samsara Attavyan, in the forest of material life. Gataha, having entered. Na, note. Adi api, until now. Viphala, unsuccessful. Bahu pratyoga, full of great difficulties and varieties of miserable conditions. Ihaha, whose activities here in the material world. Tatapa upashamaning, which pacifies the miseries in the forest of material life. Hari Guru Charana Aravinda. Yeah, this is good. Lord's feet of the Lord and his devote. Madhukara Anupadaving. The road fall in persons of devotees who are attached like bumblebees. Avarunde, again. Okay, the translation from the Sanskrit to English by Srila Prabhupada. When King Parikshit asked Shukadeva Goswami about the direct meaning of the material forest, Shukadeva Goswami replied as follows: My dear king, a man belonging to the mercantile community, Varnik, is always interested in earning money. Sometimes he enters the forest to acquire some cheap commodities like wood and earth and sell them in the city at good price. Similarly, the conditioned soul, being greed, enters the material world for some material profit. Gradually, he enters the deepest part of the forest, not really knowing how to get out. Stay lost. Having entered in the material world, the pure soul becomes conditioned by the material atmosphere, which is created by the external energy under the control of Lord Vishnu. Thus, the living entity comes under the control of the external energy, Daiv Maya. Living independently as bewildered in the forest, he does not attend the association of devotees who are always engaged in the service of the Lord. Once in the bodily conception, he gets different types of bodies, one after another, under the influence of material energy and impelled by the modes of material nature, Sattva Guna, Rajaguna, and Tamoguna. In this way, the conditioned soul goes times to the heavenly planets, sometimes to the earthly planets, and sometimes to the lower planets and lower species. Thus, he suffers continuously due to different types of bodies. The suffering and pain are sometimes mixed. Sometimes they are very severe, sometimes they are not. These bodily conditions are acquired due to the conditioned soul's mental speculation. He uses his mind and five senses to acquire knowledge, and this brings about the different bodies and different conditions. Using the senses under control of external energy, Maya, the living entity suffers the miserable conditions of material existence. He is actually searching for the relief, but he is generally baffled. Although sometimes he is relieved after great difficulty, struggling for existence in this way, he cannot get the shelter of pure devotees, who are like bumblebees engaged in loving service at the lotus feet of the Lord Vishnu. Purport. Yes, very large. The most important information in this verse is Hari Guru Charana Charavinda Madhukara Anupadavin. In this material world, the conditioned souls are blessed by their activities, and sometimes they are revived after great difficulty. On the whole, the conditioned soul is never happy. He simply struggles for existence. Actually, his only business is to accept the spiritual master, the Guru, and through him he must accept the Lord's feet or the Lord. This is explained by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Guru Krishna Prasad Pai Bhakti Lakcha Bija Brahmanda Brahmiti. People struggling for existence in the forests or cities of the material world are not actually enjoying life. They are simply suffering different pains and pleasures, generally pains that are always inauspicious. They try to gain release from these pains, but they cannot due to ignorance. For them it is said in the Vedas, Tat Vigyanartan Sagurum Vivabhigapchit. When the living entity is lost in the forest of the material world in the struggle for existence, his first business is to find a bona fide Guru who is always engaging at the lotus feet of the Supreme Person of Godhead, Vishnu. After all, if he is at all eager to be relieved of the struggle for existence, he must find a bona fide Guru and take instructions at his lotus feet. In this way, he can get out of the struggle. Yeah, I have more. Since the material world is compared here in the forest, it may be argued that in Kali Yuga, modern civilization is mainly situated in the cities. A great city, however, is like a great forest. Yeah. Actually, city life is more dangerous than life in the forest. If one is entered as an enclosed city without a friend or shelter, living in that city is more difficult than living in a forest. There are many big cities all over the surface of the globe, and wherever one looks, he sees the struggle for existence going on 24 hours a day. People rush about in cars going 70 and 8 miles an hour, constantly coming and going, and this sets the sense of the great struggle for existence. One has to rise early in the morning and travel in that car at breaking speed. There is always the danger of accident, and one has to take great care. The Shrutakirti Prabhu comment that in personal life he had a car accident, and after he speak to Prabhupada, and according to Shrutakirti, when Prabhupada make this purport, is influenced by this thing that happens with Shrutakirti Prabhu. There is always the danger of an accident, and one has to take great care. In this automobile, the living entity is full of anxieties, and his struggle is not at all auspicious. Apart from human beings, other species like cats and dogs are also struggling very hard day and night for existence. The meaning of the material world. Struggling. Thus, the struggle for existence continues, and the conscious soul changes from one position to another. For a while, he is a child, but he has to become a boy. From a boy, he has to change into a youth, and from youth to a manhood and old age. Finally, when the body is no longer workable, he has to accept a new body in a different species. Giving up the body is called death, and accepting another body is called birth. The human form is an opportunity to take shelter of the bona fide spiritual master and through him, the Supreme Lord. This Krishna consciousness movement has been started to give an opportunity to all the members of human society who are misled by foolish leaders. No one can get out of the struggle for existence, which is full of miseries, without accepting a pure devote of the Lord. The material attempt to change from one position to another, and no one actually gains relief from the struggle for existence. The only resort is the lotus feet of a bona fide spiritual master, and through him, the lotus feet of the Lord. Om Gyanati Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumiritan Jana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistan Staptan Yana Bhuptale Swayupakarata Mahyan Tadat Swapadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Paristaya Bhuttale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirveshesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Dishatarine Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavimyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jai Dvaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Tat Sat. Hare Krishna. Good morning to everyone. Thanks for coming to the Srimad Bhagavatam class. So we are starting a new chapter, the chapter 14. in the pastimes of Maharaja Rahugana in Jadabharata. So here Jadabharata explained to Rahugana about the forest of material world. This is a big metaphor in Srimad Bhagavatam about the material world. How the living entity, the Jivatma, came to here, and what can do here, the living entity? Yes, what we do here in material world. So this is very, very summary explained in this chapter. This not a new subject in the Srimad Bhagavatam, especially in Puranjana, Narada Muni to King Puranjana explained about the material forest, the living in forest, and go to the forest to collect treasures. So this is a summary of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur by this chapter. In the fourth chapter, the characters of the story, like the plunders and jackals, are explained to be the six senses and one's family members. The jiva going to the forest of samsara, even today, has not attained devotees who, like beasts, are attracted to the worship of the lotus feet of Guru, a form of the Lord. This means that without taking shelter of the feet of Sri Guru, one wanders around in samsara, having walked along the difficult road with many obstructions, experiencing samsara with meaningless happiness and distress arising from accepting and rejecting a series of various bodies produced by performing auspicious or inauspicious acts which are divided according to the three gunas. Since samsara of the jiva is made by Maya, the jiva should surrender to Maya Devi. Being placed with him, she will free him from bondage. Why should one surrender to Guru? But Maya is controlled by the Lord. She cannot independently award liberation. So this is one point of the verse. Why does contemporary man find the time to become entangled and increase his suffering, but does not find time to free himself from all anxiety in this world? Especially the devotees that go on the street to make sankirtan, to book distribution, they absorb too much this tendency in nowadays. So this is Shikshastakam Prabhu. He is lamenting when go to the sanctuary to book distribution. He explained, throughout the day we try to stop people and introduce Prabhupada's books, but the vast majority respond in a hurry. I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. So how many of you in Sancta heard this from the peoples? You. Yeah. Sometimes you heard in the street when you go to book distribution, people said, I don't have time, I don't have time, I don't have time. Yes? This happens with you. Oh, so this is real. Is this a real disease condition or a mere excuse? So, the major of people are lazy, and time is a very, very precious. Time is a treasure. We need very well how to manage the time.
As a problem with time. But the day is 24 hours. Don't give me this thing, I have a difficult time with the time and I don't have time for this. Because the kind of things that I did when I came to this country. I mean, I went to school, I was working in construction, I was working out my 5 hours a day, I was taking acting classes from 8 o'clock at night to 12 midnight. I was doing all of those things. I wanted to make sure that out of the 24 hours of the day, that I don't waste one single hour. So there I just want to tell people, you have time, you make the time.
Yeah. So Chanakapanta explained something. Yeah, if you lost 1 second, even 1 million, 1 billion of dollar or francs is better, cannot buy 1 second if you lost. So this everybody know he's Arnold Schwarzenegger, especially in our childhood. He was a big hero in cinema, make many movies, and after he was the California government. But this is very interesting that he spoke because it's very similar that Prabhupada says the attitude of Prabhupada, the intensity of the time. Don't lose time, yes. Be very serious, be very focused. This is very important to get success, even material world or what said in the spiritual platform. You need to be very focused, be very intensity. Like Shukadeva Goswami explained, like the intensity of the sunshine rays is very intensity. The verse explains Akama Sarvakama Va Moksha Kama Udaridihi Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. Tivra means the sun shines, the ray of the sun. So this intensity to achieve success in Bhakti Yoga, but is even the same attitude to achieve success in material world. The problem in material world, you depend also of your karma, your previous activities, but you need this attitude in the spiritual life. But in spiritual life is more easy because you depend of Krishna, and Krishna is very merciful. So, about the time, what we conclude? No, this is me. We always find time to do what we really want to do. Yeah, the people's explain, I don't have time. I don't have time to spiritually because in Kali Yuga, the peoples are very lazy. Manda Bhagayo. So, because this, they don't have time. But when we want thing, we have time for this thing. This is the true. So this is the Zygmunt Bauman, is a sociologist in contemporary, and he explains some difficulties, some problems in our actually society. Your book, famous book, is Liquid Love, on the fruit of human bonds. In liquid modernity, nothing is meant to last, including love. The idea of a fast food store symbolizes our current days. Yeah, Prabhupada give example of the big cities, and the essence of the big cities is supermarket and fast foods. This symbolizes the nowadays fast food and supermarkets. This is translated of the conditions life, the materialist life of these people in nowadays. Relationships are no longer solid commitments, but flexible, easily dissolved arrangements. Love is treated like a product. We shop for partners and discard them when they no longer satisfy. As if the logic of consumerism and capitalism optimizes the relationships now. Entering the forest is a metaphor for materialistic life, where the body is accepted as the self and the senses as an extension to selfishly explore this world. So this is the verse, and some comments. He's always interested in earning money. Sometimes he enters the forest to acquire some cheap commodities. This is very Actually, it is very contemporary. With these cheap commodities, he can manufacture and make more money because money buys sense enjoyment. This entrance to the forest may very well resemble the entrance to a supermarket today, which is why large malls and supermarkets are the most common and expressive places today. Does the explorer great satisfied by making profit enjoy his senses? No. Gradually he enters the deepest part of the forest, not really knowing how to get out. Having entered into the material world, the pure soul becomes conditioned by the material atmosphere. Yes, it's practically impossible go out from here. In search of bodily satisfaction, the exploited get lost in the forest. A story where the only help is confused with a waste of time. Yes, the only people that can help the materialistic people are devotees, the Lotus Feet of Vishnu, but this is so bored, this is a waste of time, this Hare Krishnas in your philosophy. Thus, the living entity comes under the control of the external energy, Daiv Maya. Living independently and bewildered in the forest, he does not attend the association of devotees who are always engaged in the service of the Lord. He does not get or does not want the association with the devotees. Devotees are very accessible. Yeah, we have temples in the main cities in the world. Devotees are in the streets, in the main roads, on the city, in the main streets. But the people's not are interested. This is lost of time. This is a waste of time. Yes, they are in a dream. Yes, with another world, another life. But the life is this practical. If I not make money, if I not earn money, how I will sustain me? How will keep me? This is the materialistic peoples. But the same people that maintain the materialistic peoples is the same people that maintain us, the Hare Krishnas. That is the Lord Vishnu. He is the source. He's the foundation of all things. From Lord Vishnu that come in all things. But they don't know about this, and the devotees are try with a big effort remember they about this, but they are not interested. So, is it possible to get out of the material world without the help of Krishna devotees? No. Well, this is a verse from 11th Canto, chapter 22, verse number 10. Here, Lord Shri Krishna explained to Uddhava the Uddhava Gita. This is a wonderful place on Srimad Bhagavatam, wonderful portion of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Lord Shri Krishna said, Anadi avidya yuktasya purushasyatma vedanam swato na sambhavadanyas tattva gyo gyanando bhavet. Because a person who has been covered by ignorance since time immemorial is capable of effecting his own self-realization. Yes, it's impossible to condition your soul make your self-realization. Only by the false ego, the pride, I think, I will make my own path to know Lord, to know God. I don't need of these religions. They are institutions. They cheating. They stole the money of the peoples. No, I will read the Bible. I will read the Quran and I will make some conclusions and I will achieve God personally. I don't need of these religions. This is a very common idea, very common thoughts in nowadays. And the main place that these ideas come in is from the false ego. There must be some other personality who is factual knowledge of the absolute truth and can impart this knowledge to him. So this is a very important information of Lord Shri Krishna. We need of another person, another other personality who is in factual knowledge of the absolute truth. How this meaning? How is in the practice? Material world is like a pit of quicksand. Yes, everybody knows. I never see a quicksand, but we see in the movies. But the material world is like this. Material world is like a pit of quicksand. The more you struggle, more you end up sinking. Yes, more you make effort to understand, to dominate, to explore the material world, more you go down. More you stay entangled in the material world. Yeah? You try go out, but more. If with ever my efforts, I go more and more down, more, and end up sinking, what is the solution? What I will do? Yes, only thus outside the moved sand pit can take it out using a rope or a stick, and that is the position of the devote. The pure devote, the guru, are outside of this quicksand, outside of this hole. We're down in a hole. And the guru, the pure devotee, can give to us a rope or a stick, and with the stick they can take out us from this hole, from this quicksand. Is the more logical way. In another effect, in another way, is impossible to go out of this hole, of this quicksand. But the false ego manufactured this idea that I can do everything, I can do anything. Yes, I'm very intelligent, I'm very capable, and I will do what I want. What I want, I will do. This is the great problem for the spiritual soul, the false ego. Na kenachit kwapi katanchanasya dvandva parata parasya yatahama sansriti rupina syad evam prabudo na bibheti bhutaihi. The false ego gives shape to the illusory material existence and thus experiences material happiness and distress. How I can recognize the false ego? In the moment that I think I'm this body, in the moment that I identify the self with this body, this is the influence of false ego. This meaning that you are in the material world. I am white, I am yellow, I am black, I am a woman, I am man, I am Swiss, I am Brazilian, I am this or that, because these are designations of the body. We are spiritual souls, pure spiritual souls. We don't have nothing with this body. We don't have a connection with this body. But because of the false ego, because of Maya acting, we are in illusion. We are confused. Prakriti kriyamanani gunai karmani sarvashaha ahankara vimudatma kartaham itimanati. Confused by the three gunas, we think that we are the author. We is the donor that do the things. Yeah, I'm doing everything, but in really, who are doing the things is the three modes. For example, if I feel a great hate for another people, I hate this person, I will kill you, and I will go and kill this person. Who killed the person? Tamaguna, because this hate, this great fears, not is the propensity of the soul. Is influenced by Tamaguna. Or when I feel the fever, oh, look that body, look the characteristic of this body, I feel attracted by this body. This is not the feeling of the soul. This is the influence of Rajaguna. And when I feel, I'm very intelligent, I know the structure of the universe, I know philosophy, I know about the religions. This knowing that produces happiness also, this influence of Sataguna. What is the feeling of the soul? What is the characteristic of the soul? Jivyara Swarupahai Krishna Nityadasa. I'm the eternal servant of Krishna. I'm the spiritual soul. I'm not this body. I don't have nothing with this material world. The spiritual soul, however, is transcendental to material nature. He can never actually be affected by the material happiness and distress in any place, under any circumstance, or by the agents of any person. A person who understands this has nothing whatsoever to fear from the material creation. So, because I am this body, if this body is cut, I feel pain. Or if this body is destroyed in the death, I'm finished. So I have a lot of fear of death. I have a lot of fear of suffer and all this. I have a lot of fear of the thieves, of the tax, of the government. But nothing of this have a relationship, is connected with the soul. Who feel pain, cold, hot, and lust is the body. But because the spiritual soul are inside of the body, he feel again. For example, if we have a van, the temple van, we are inside of the van, driving the van around 120 kilometers per hour, and the van crash. Something happens with me? Probably yes. But I have some connected with the van? No. I'm one thing, the van is another thing. But because I'm inside of the van, I feel what happens in the van. So, what produces this identification, I am in this body? And because I think that I'm this body, I need to feel what happens with this body. False ego. False ego produces this illusion, this confusion. I am this body. This is myself. This is I am. Because this is a great challenge for the spiritual soul is detachment of this false ego. When this body is accepted as the self, the spell of Maya has been cast. False ego or contaminated consciousness. Amula metad bahuru parupitan manovacha prana sharira karma. Jnana sinopa shamaya shiktena chitva munirgam vicharati atrashnaha. Although the false ego has no factual basis, it is perceived in many forms as the functions of the mind, yes, feeling, willing, deeping, speech, life, air, and bodily faculties. But with the sword of transcendental knowledge, the discrimination, this not I am, this I am, the discrimination with the spiritual and material body and soul, this discrimination by intelligence is essential to cut this false ego. The sword of transcendental knowledge, sharpened by worship at a bona fide spiritual master, a sober sage will cut off this false identification and live in this world free from all material attachment. So this is the Uddhava Gita also. Yeah, this is the sword of knowledge. I am not this body, I am this spiritual soul. Yes, this simple phrase is full of knowledge. And this need always in our memory, in our consciousness. I'm not this body, I'm a spiritual soul. And of course, acting like a spiritual soul. What spiritual soul doing? Serve the Lord Sri Krishna, doing bhakti. This is activity, this is the moral of the spiritual soul. Yes, a bona fide spiritual master inside of the Parampara system. So with these two tools, we can cut the influence of false ego. But this is a great, great challenge that we need best in this material world. Have one mantra, a fantastic mantra that is possible diminish or extinguish the influence of false ego that Lord Chaitanya teaching for us. Trinada piso nichena tarora pisa hishnuna amanina manina kirtanya sadahari. So this prayer that Lord Chaitanya teaching for us, this is possible extinguish, this is possible diminishing the influence of the false ego, and we occupied himself in devotional service. Yes, it's very important, the humble and the humility to run away of the influence of the false ego. Srila Prabhupada aqui. So this is what I have to show to you. Sorry by my bad English, but if you have comments or questions. Yes?
Mahakrishna Prabhu, thank you so much for the presentation. I found it very powerful how you were mentioning that the time is so precious and we shouldn't waste time, and David was very fitting in that way. And I see myself a lot wasting time. So, what is your personal advice not to waste any moment that is precious?
More knowledge, more experience of life, more we will understand the importance of the time. The peoples in nowadays, because they don't have a goal, don't have a objective in their life, they are in ignorance. I'm this body, because this they waste a lot of time, including destroying the self-body, yes, destroying your bodies. But with more knowledge, with more experience of life, more we will understand the importance of time. Yes. Exists there a perverted version about the importance of time? What is the perverted vision? The vision of the materialist. These great businessmen, they understand the importance of the time. But this is perverted, and they apply in how I can use my time to earn money. Yes, make more money, make more money, make more money. Look, this is total perverted. It's totally opposite to the attitude of the pure consciousness, the health consciousness or Krishna consciousness. In a pure consciousness, we have the same intensity, the same value of the importance of the time, but how I can advance in Krishna consciousness? How can I advance in Krishna consciousness? How can I read more the Prabhupada's books? How can I more chanting the Mahamantra Hare Krishna? How can I stay with the devotees, participate in the Krishna's festivals, etc., etc., etc.? So devotees have the greed, the lobha for this. How much more our consciousness stay pure, more we will understand the importance of time. But in Tamoguna, the people's only I want to take a rest, I'm very tired, now I want to enjoy of this. Yes, only in fantasies, only in phantasmagories. But more we are advanced, more our consciousness is purified, more we understand the importance of the time. Yes. But if we are giving our first steps in this way, we can follow the Prabhupada example. Prabhupada have the perfect example of how optimize the time, what to do with the time. Yes, Prabhupada sleep 3-4 hours, and the rest of the day occupied in translate the Srimad Bhagavatam in expanding your mission of Krishna consciousness. For your pleasure, no, for the benefit of the world, for the benefit of the whole world, especially for the pleasure of the Lord Chaitanya, of the Lord Krishna. Yes, this is the perfect example of how optimized the time was given by Prabhupada. So I will finish here. Thanks for coming. Srila Prabhupada ki, Mahagrantha Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Go Pramanandi.